Hey, hi. Everyone sitting very properly. I'm not that proper. We can resume to the properness when Shoaib is on stage. I will try and be proper. My name is Ankur. My stage name is Encore. You can refer to me with either. I don't really care. Um, I mean, I care, but I'm cool with either. Um, I'm here to talk about. Y'all can hear me, right? I'm here to talk about a project of mine, which I'll just come to in a second, or rather the process behind that. But for y'all to kind of understand the process behind that one project, I thought I should kind of take y'all through what my standard process is, which is firstly to like just live life, experience shit, overthink, all of that, and then to kind of understand how it would manifest sonically without the lyrics. What kind of mood would it be? Would it be like something with a lot of hard drums? Would it be a lot of minimalistic kind of production? Would it be more guitars? Would it be more keys? Just stuff like that. Y'all get the drift. And then while I'm figuring sonically how it would go, and then my thoughts are also, of course, forming key uh, about stuff that's happening. My thoughts forming is kind of just my lyrics being formed, if that makes sense to you all. And then, of course, the actual fleshing out of going to the studio, recording it, mixing all the different tracks of the different instruments, mastering it, and then putting it out, and then hopefully a lot of live performances. That's the standard way we kind of go about it. So I'm here to talk about this project of mine called Bombay Soul. Uh, I really like the artwork. It was clicked by a friend of mine called Ronit. He's a dope photographer. To kind of understand the process behind Bombay Soul, I think it's important to kind of understand where I was when I was working on it. A lot of my slides are like this, like them kacha, because I'm just kind of going to speak about it. But I worked on it for these, 2-3 years. It started when I had just finished my MBA, and that is important to kind of take cognizance of, because me finishing my MBA was basically my final like fuck you to society. Like ho gaya abhi. Like did school, did BCom. I was doing my CA for a bit. I managed to clear a couple of exams, but before internship or articleship, if anyone knows about this CA life, it's a mind fuck. I escaped. Did my BCom. फिर कुछ था नहीं करने को तो MBA कर लिया. And so yeah, I mean, got done with that. Then of course 2016 I still had to take a job, because the MBA is an expensive course, and guilt and all. So so I was working for this whole period. Um, Also at the same time, just generally like before 2016 or 2018, living in a normal middle class family. Both my parents are, were in the service industry. Dad still works, and seeing how they had interests and passions which they couldn't pursue because of they had to keep earning, and I don't know why the fuck they had kids, but they had kids. Abhi unko palna hai. And just generally seeing the way society has, just kept its wheels turning, but a lot of their ambitions and hopes probably weren't as fulfilled or satisfied, and the kind of I don't know. I don't want to say disgruntlement, but just you see how it kind of bubbles, and I don't know. You just wonder if there is another way to the way the world's working. Um, and of course, during this period, I was, like I said, I was working, and I was also in a similar system of getting to work, getting back home, all of that. So a lot of that, like when they told me the process, the concept of today was repetition, I was like, what does repetition have to do with my project? And before I messaged Ishan, I actually deleted. I messaged him and I deleted it. I was like, bro, पर repetition का क्या करूँ मैं? And then yeah, like I just did some thinking, and I was like, oh wait, this whole album is basically about me trying to find I'll come to it, what Bombay represents, but it's essentially me trying to figure out what the point is of the way society is and the way the repetitive and, the loop kind of that we are all in. Um, when I announced the album, I put out a small, sort of long, open letter, which essentially was. I'm like thoda like weird. Like I was just like within like just kept to myself for a few months before the album. We have to do a lot of promo and shit to put it out. So when I announced it, I didn't know how to announce it and how to explain to people that this is my Jaan and my whole life. This is not like just a music video. It's not like like just naachne ka is pe. So I put this out. I'll read it out. It's also going to be on your screens. So I announced this around Diwali in 2016, and I released it on 3rd December. But so yeah, man, life really is strange. Let me introduce myself before we go further. I'm Ankur. I'm a rapper, and my new album Bombay Soul comes out on the 3rd of December. I decided a few days ago while streaming a Mac Miller tribute. Rest in peace to Mac Miller. If anyone knows Mac Miller, he is one of my favorite musicians. That I wanted to write this letter to the world to introduce the album myself. It means a lot to me, and I just wanted to share some of this excitement with y'all. I just wanted it to be really raw, and I didn't know how else to do it. So I knew I wanted to write something, but I'm going to keep it a buck. I had a couple of false starts until I realized today that I'm typing this on Diwali. I can hear the patakas right now, and they're giving my already restless brain even more fuel for the chaos. Today I realized is the anniversary of a Diwali party that mom hosted at home last year. And the house was packed, and all of us at home tried to make sure we contribute or at least don't hurt the vibe, regardless of who our visitors and guests are. It was a cool evening for the most part, except that I had a proper breakdown, waterworks and all in my tiny balcony while everyone was in such great spirits inside. I had been working on some stuff for the day job I had back then, and shout out to ATKT, I love what we did, that's what I worked. And it would be so much harder if it was some fuck all corporate. This is true. But I was swamped with work. I guess it all just caught up to me in that moment of loud celebration that I had nothing to even be happy about. Nothing to be happy about, let alone take a break and celebrate because of. Looking back, I know I had my privileges of staying at home, having a stable job because of my education, etc. But I just wasn't getting any time or peace of mind to work on what I felt was of utmost importance, which is the music, which I now present you all as Bombay Soul. I had reached a point of finally woken up belatedly to it where the only thing fueling me was the goal of making the best music I could. That's all I fucking wanted for myself. And a year ago in my balcony, that path looked hard as a motherfucker. But as a result of that breakdown, aside from getting a little more curious about my mental health, I realized that I didn't know how it was going to work out, but I had to make this music. This is kind of me acknowledging the repetition that all of us were in and trying to get out. I only had theories of where it came from, but I was sure about where it had to go. I wouldn't be able to sleep easy if I didn't put the hours in and didn't get my hands dirty regardless of the outcome. Or outcome jab aayega, jo aayega, dekha jayega. I believe that outcomes only last momentarily, and soon enough they just turn back into the hustle, which is the only constant, which is what I feel. So here I am hustling, busting my ass off to create not just one that I wanted to, but the album that I had to too. I've put a lot into the album. This part's not that important, but y'all get what I'm talking about, right? That's kind of where I was with the album. And because it was such, I mean, I hope y'all get it was like a real mind fuck at that point. I had this day job and it didn't make sense the way the world was working and stuff like that. And a lot of that actually went into the themes of the album and the stuff I talk about on the album. And the reason I've kind of put Bombay in inverted commas here is Bombay for me represents, aside from being like probably my favorite city, it's also a mindfuck. It's like the repetition we talk about, and that whole spirit of Bombay bullshit. It's also because it's not optional. It's not like we have the option of not going to work after a terrorist attack. ठीक है, cool. नहीं चाहिए पगार. We have to go back to work, and it's kind of that loop, and the reason I called the album Bombay Soul is because I was trying to understand what is it that we do all this for? Is it worth just survival? Is there more than survival? Is there soul within the hustle? And that's kind of what Bombay Soul truly meant for me. I was. It starts with a. I'll come. So one of the songs. I'll explain this Bombay Soul concept over the next couple of slides. One of the songs on Bombay Soul is called Pinjre. I'll actually perform a verse from that for y'all, and then kind of explain. Y'all will get it. I'm clearly already explaining. So, सपने देखना चालू किए 8 साल से, आंखें तो बंद होती थी शुरुआत से. नुसरत फतेह अली खान के आवाज़ ने रूठते रास्कल की रूह को अपनी राग से. बेथकान बेमिसाल मुझे आग दी, स्कूल फॉर्मेलिटी हम भागे जैसे आंधी. बोलर्स और बैट्समैन ने दिया मुझे होमवर्क, रन अप, स्टांस राइट, एक्शन, फुटवर्क. पर घर पहुंच के किया टीवी ऑन, स्विच इट ऑफ एंड डू योर होमवर्क, स्क्रीमिंग मॉम. एंड यू नो बचपन में फटती तो आंखें बस बुक पर जैसे उनमें लड़की थी. नो प्ले बॉय, बस एक ही अफसोस that I only played boy. कोई पढ़े दिन भर, कोई लगे रहे नेट्स में, और हम गेम में थे बेंच पे सिर्फ एक्सपर्ट कमेंट्स में. पर अगर धीरेन होता तो मैं, धीरेन इज माई डैड्स नेम, पर अगर धीरेन होता तो मैं अपने बच्चों को उकसाता या सिखाता चैन. कोहली की बैटिंग, जैक कैलिस, डेल स्टेन, क्या वो जानता सचिन की बचपन थी ग्राउंड पे. स्कूल से दूर पर यूं ही सेकते धूप में, पसीने के पूल में. जो बच्चे को सूझे बचपन के मजे में, छीन ले किस्मत की आंखों में घूर के, या तोहफा दूर से जिंदगी भर ढूंढने. So it's essentially about having dreams when we were kids, right? And how because my parents knew no other way, it was essentially all this shit is cute. खेल cricket ये खेल ये, पर घर आके homework कर चुपचाप. You know, it's not really like breaking that loop of just a job and, you know, education, job, all that is expected or supported or encouraged. And that's kind of what I meant with Bombay Soul. You know, a lot of our hustle it's that Bombay hustle, which is काम कर, नौकरी कर, पगार, कमा, घरा, feed your family, all that. So the first song on the album is called Soul, and the chorus of that says, "Where the fuck did the soul go?" And like I presented you all, like the previous verse, there's another verse on this, which for me is, I think, one of the most important verses on the album, where I'm asking that question. Like I said, a lot of this is about family, and this verse is about my dad. I seen dad's heart more and his face less. I mean, he bought me hologram Pokemons while he paid debt, and both of us couldn't trade yet. I let Amir Khan seek perfection. Middle class Khandan, man, the bar's low. But how my people, my own damn people, only care when a star up on the star show. I mean, he taught me right from wrong. When Bob Marley came on, he'd recite the song. So when he sound extremist, I wonder what went wrong. Was it the media that numbed his soul? The pressure earning for not one but four? Or ideas I never heard before? Can only hope I ain't the same at 50-some years old. So I've seen him go through that loop and get stuck in it. I've seen him, how he kind of has been supportive of a lot of extremist and right-wing politicians just because they are apparently creating a better economy, which also now is clearly bullshit. Because they're creating a better economy for him to earn money and to support the family. And again, that also I felt like was just a part of the hustle that I think Bombay, for me, symbolically represented in the album. So this is the first song, Soul, and for me, the album starts with soul and it ends with a song called Port Wine. And it's called port wine because I had stopped drinking port wine for a while, and I had stopped drinking for a while, and then someone showed me port wine, and I was like, "Fuck, ये तो सही है, सस्ता भी है." And I kind of started drinking with port wine, and kind of symbolized like me growing up, like or rather a new phase of my life. So on port wine. Which is for me like in many ways the answer to soul. There's 6 songs. The 4 in the middle are like my journey to finding this answer, but the last song, which is Port Wine, I'll again I hope these verses are not like, I hope y'all are cool with it. So this was, I'll just give y'all a bit of context. So I used to stay with my family in Khar. Okay? Is anyone here from Khar or that area? Okay. Okay, y'all know Khar Khana, na? Okay. Khar Khana ke side mein ek gali hai jo where the BD smoke shops are there. Yeah. So when we used to get drunk, right, we used to walk down that lane and try and just jump and touch like the whichever branch we can reach just because you were drunk. There's no point to that. Okay? So this is essentially, this verse is like I wrote it visually as me walking back like that. This was when we were younger. Like I didn't do this at like 24, 25. Huh? This was when I was like whatever, 18, 17. Jo bhi hai. So this is 17, 18-year-old me walking down that lane, and older me is kind of driving past, and kind of that conversation between a younger me and an older me. And yeah, I'll get into the verse. Sorry, one sec. I'm not sure where to begin the verse from because I'm so used to performing the song right from the start. I could actually do it from the top because it is very relevant. All right. Save money for cigarettes, so we hop on the bus. Stationery for the solution, but the problem was us. Mark attendance just to thank parents, but we just there for the girls. Maybe the problem was love. Cause we middle class with no hopes of above. And my hair grown out, wore the stupidest stuff. With the white mischief, we were the stupidest drunks. Ain't talking a haircut, but I was rocking a buzz. So when the clouds broke, I got out the household. Headphones, wind cheater in the downpour. The city loud, I can never turn her sound off. But in the monsoon it shut up, like we found God. My shoes dirty, but the soul so clean. No vision, but I knew who I didn't want to be. No paper chasing or addiction to speed, but growing up change a lot. Who you gon' be? I seen the bookshop turn to the wine shop. Now we learn lessons in the bar. Only carry bags from the weed spot. Don't just get me high, take me far. Man, I grown up from the wine shop. Grown up at the bar. Man, I grown up from the weed spot. Growing up, all in car. This is the verse. उन रातों की अगल बगल काफी गुजरता हूँ. गाड़ी चले स्पीड में मैं पी के भी खड़ा हूँ. टेक अ पिस खड़ूस के ट्यूशन क्लास पे. थी चढ़ी दारू पर चढ़ाए बॉटल ग्लास पे. दुनिया धीमी जिंदगी भी लगे मूवी जब देखे इतिहास के अंदाज से. रास्ते ना दिखे हेडलाइट के सामने. ड्राइवर हॉर्न बजाते ही बीटी दिला दे. Can you let me be? Yeah, you with a pretty girl, but you ugly be. I'm telling myself that, no one else. Yeah, you with a pretty girl, but you ugly be. बड़ी गर्व से चला रहा अपनी फटफटी, पर आवाज तो ये करे साले ट्रक जैसी. He got a crooked eye like a.k.a. जैसे नशे में डूबी हुई डगमगाती तेरी गाड़ी. बस ऐसी तो है सवारी जिंदगी की जब ये सपने तेरे बन बैठे मदारी. So what I'm trying to say with that was, young me is trying to tell old me. Young me ज्ञान दे रहा है, older me को. Ki, I know you're overthinking and I know you're stressed out. I see you driving this car being all stressed out. Yeah, sure, you know you're with like a really pretty woman and all that. But you don't have the answers. Like डगमगाती तेरी गाड़ी बस ऐसी तो है सवारी जिंदगी की जब ये सपने तेरे बन बैठे मदारी. So essentially we don't have the answers like as to how to break out of the loop is what my uh, conclusion or whatever to my thinking was. It was just that if you're trying, it's going to be hard, and that's all I knew, and that's all I know even now. I want to talk a little bit more about the process, which is the more literal repetition part of this process, which is not just how life is repetitive and in a loop. There's yeah. So I worked with a bunch of people on the album, and because sessions were quite grueling, and I think whoever hears an artist, y'all know that if it's a project, which is I'm sure y'all can tell that this is very close to my heart as a project. It wasn't like just a commercial one or whatever. I had to really give it everything I had. So a lot of people are really driven to exhaustion, and this is kind of what a repetitive process does to people sometimes. That's Arifa Arbalo, who's an amazing singer. That's Ramya. You'll see her slowly descend to mindfuckness. That's a random boxing glove. These are friends of mine who are rappers. This is Gravity. He's from a crew called Bombay Local. That's a studio engineer dying slowly. Dead. This is another couple friend of mine. This is what I did to them. That's Samarth. I didn't write NC on his t-shirt. That's a glitch. You'll see him also die slowly. He's part of a group called Small Talk. Yeah, so he died. So that process of repetition is a mindfuck. But I mean, option kya hai? I mean, you put so much of your time and energy and money into it, and when it is an artistic thing and it's not like a brand or whatever, you have to give it your best. But what happens is, I had written this down because I don't want to fuck it up. But there are some things which are very important. I don't know why I wrote it down. It's very obvious. Even in that process, y'all could see that I was working with people who were friends or who I cared for and who cared for me and who cared for art. And because of that, you also get moments like this. See, ha. This is not a before and after. It's at the same time. So the process is a mindfuck, but it's also, they were playing rock, paper, scissors to figure who went to record first. That was my idea. I think it was genius. Technology. So yeah, this is just a lot of teeth. He recorded an amazing part for me. That's Tina's. All these artists are from Bombay. This is DJ Yuri. He's an OG. He scratched some stuff for me on Port Wine. And so I just wanted to quickly show you all that repetition is a mindfuck. But I mean, as long as the art is important and you're working with the right people, it is still art, and if you do it with the right intentions, it's worth it. That repetition is worth it. And then the last part of the process that I was talking about, in terms of touring and performing it, I think, at least with this project or the process of this project, I didn't manage to find an answer as to break out of. For me, the repetition on this project was more about life and y'all figured philosophically breaking out of it. I don't really have an answer, but I know that now this project at least exists for someone else who's in that repetition, to know that they're not alone, and to know that if they're trying to break out, the answers are not there, but whoever's tried to break out, or rather at least me and my friends, if we've tried to break out, it's been a mind fuck for us also. So if this other person who's listening is mind fucked, to know that it's okay to be mind fucked, ki mehnat karte raho. And yeah, so that's there forever now, and that use of it will repeat itself. Thank you.